Hey y'all, welcome back to Culture Cult. Today we are covering a new country, super exciting. It's actually a country I don't really know anything about. It's Zimbabwe. And it may be a new country, but it is with an old fan favorite, Kyle Sakocho.
Hello, hello.
He's back. You're definitely a fan favorite. People have been requesting you.
Let them know the feeling is very mutual.
Very mutual. We also have our friend Kenya in the background. So if you hear some laughing, it's from her. She's going to be on this season for El Salvador, which is where she's from. But today we're talking about Zimbabwe, which she's not from there, and neither you or I.
Very astute of you.
But so the last country we had you on was Belize, and now we're covering Zimbabwe. What can you tell me about Zimbabwe off the top of your head? No shame.
It's one of the only countries that begins with a Z. I know their capital is Harare.
Is it? If you're bullshitting, you have to drink. So
Okay, what if I'm telling the truth, though?
I'll drink.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I like this.
Well, speaking of, this is actually a drinking episode. So I thought we'd play a little fun drinking game, question roulette, Zimbabwe style.
Mhm.
So again, if you get it's true and false. Okay, if you get it wrong, you take a shot. If you get it right, I and Kenya, who said she'd be on my team, have to take a shot.
Double jeopardy.
Double jeopardy. So true or false? Zimbabwe has some of the best surfing in the world.
False.
Okay, I hit the drink. Kenya's stressed. I'm kind of stressed.
Are they all going to be like this? Because I hope you're all thirsty.
Oh, God. Okay, here we go. Like, just hold your drink at this point. In Zimbabwe, they have a unique calendar that observes 13 months a year.
True.
Bitch drank.
Fuck. I fucking knew that was false.
They have 12 months. That is actually Ethiopia. Oh,
that was my next guess.
Was it really? In Zimbabwe, being overweight is a good thing.
True.
Drink. We have to drink, Kenny. So for men, having a pot belly means you're wealthy and successful.
I know where I'm booking my next spring break.
You will do very well there. We all will. So, okay, Zimbabwe is one of the 4 nations you can see a black rhino.
I say true.
Okay, can you drink? We're kind of losing this game.
Oh my God. Have I gotten one wrong yet?
Yeah, you did. The 13-month calendar.
Oh, yeah.
Zimbabwe was never colonized.
True.
Drink, bitch.
Fuck.
False.
No.
Ethiopia.
Wow. Okay.
Guess who colonized them? Just freebie.
Ethiopia.
No. Kenny said France. No. What's your guess?
I would say Portuguese.
Nope. The British, because they colonized the entire world.
Sun never set at one point in the
And so,
until it did.
Yeah, until it did. And so, yeah, Zimbabwe was colonized by the British, unfortunately. Okay, next question. Zimbabwe has a waterfall so big that you can hear the waterfall 40 kilometers away.
They have the largest waterfall in the world, so true.
Yeah, sorry, Kenny. All right, one more time.
Are you guys going to have anything to drink for the
All
rest
right,
of the
here we
night?
go.
I'm getting kind of worried.
So it's known as Victoria Falls, and the local indigenous name for the falls is called Mosi-oa-Tunya. You know? Meaning,
I'm sure that pronunciation is spot
I'm very
on.
accurate.
Yeah. Lots of tuna.
But no, that means the smoke that thunders, which is really cool.
Ooh, damn.
That's way more beautiful than
book. That sounds like a book.
the smoke that
The
thunders.
smoke that thunders.
Yeah, so you can kind of visualize the waterfall, that way
Yeah.
versus like naming
The
after
mist.
a queen, So it's called the smoke that thunders, and it's honestly a huge must see when you go there. So there's so much to do.
Can't miss it.
You can't miss it. There's the Zambezi National Park. It's right next to it, where you can see rhinos, the black rhinos.
Oh.
You can go bridge bungee jumping and go over the bridge overlooks the waterfalls too.
And the rhinos?
I'm sure. But yeah, you can go to the national park. That's probably 30 minutes away. There's a bridge bungee jumping there. And then you can go to a place called the Devil's Pool.
Ooh.
I know. Where you swim out to the edge of the waterfall. And hopefully the current will take you over. So that leads us to a story. Oh, wait. I forgot to ask the last question.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Many people in Zimbabwe are deathly afraid of mermaids.
True.
Yes. We do. Okay, so again, that leads us to our story today. Mermaids in Zimbabwe.
Oh.
I know.
This also sounds like a book.
I know. I feel like you would not put those two things together, especially since Zimbabwe is literally landlocked.
Yeah, that's why when you said it had surf,
Surfing.
I was like,
I know. I was
funny.
hoping you didn't know the geography.
Well, I have looked at a map before.
Okay, so I get down to serious about these mermaids. We have to talk about Zimbabwe, the actual country, for a second, and its incredible history and places to experience there. So first of all, when you think of societies and ruins in Africa, what probably comes up in your head? Like amazing ruins to go see.
Well, Egypt.
There you go. Yeah.
You know, South Africa being the cradle of humanity. I would love to go see the ancient, structures there. You know, there's so many cultures there that are just have been there forever.
Mm-hmm.
Way more than.
Yep.
I feel like you're about to tell me something.
I'm just saying. I'm agreeing. I'm just agreeing.
You're getting your drink ready.
I'm
about to say some more right things. So are you going to have to drink every time I say something right?
No, I'm just saying that's a huge reason why I want to cover Africa. And a lot of people want to learn about Africa because their history is forgotten. But we know Egypt. Cool. Like there's so many
Egypt's
other...
one of the oldest civilizations.
What I'm about to tell you is just as awesome. So what I'm going to tell you about is Great Zimbabwe, which are now the ruins to what was a once major empire from the Kingdom of Zimbabwe from about 1,200 years ago. And it had about 40,000 citizens, which was bigger than Rome and London at the time.
Combined?
No, singularly. But still, like, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people.
I actually read that King Solomon in the Bible actually got his gold from Zimbabwe.
Did you read my
notes? No.
How did you know that?
Just something that was mentioned in like Bibles and Bible school.
That's what he got it from. Great Zimbabwe, this ruins.
Oh,
yeah. That's actually crazy.
He must have been a very wise man indeed.
Yeah, it was known as a global trading hub, especially for gold and iron, and they traded with the Middle East all the way to China.
Wow,
that's insane. Especially since they're landlocked. It's not like they have a navy or a port.
And think about how many steps that would take. And there's no airplane.
No, if you want the gold, you have to walk into the continent.
To this great city.
I wonder if people just came to them. Like I feel like they.
Yeah, I mean, if you build it, they will come, and it sounds like they built it.
Yeah, and the people from China came.
Yeah. And everywhere.
Yeah, and so what you're talking about is that was believed to be the location of Ophir. It's like Ophir, Ophir. Mm-hmm. But it was the ancient wealthy country in which King Solomon got his ivory, gold, and other precious items. So I don't know anything about the Bible. I'm not gonna lie, so I don't really know who he is. But I mean, either way, people came to Zimbabwe mainly for that gold. So what will you see if you go visit Great Zimbabwe? You'll probably check out the Queen's Palace. It's a huge section. It's the most well preserved. And there was a section where the royals lived, and where the king lived was at the top of the mountain, where it was an incredibly narrow and steep staircases. So it'd be really difficult to reach the king. Only one person can walk through. That way people can attack them while the army's trying to go up to the king.
One by one.
One by one. And it's really steep. It's really steep. And so it's hard to invade him. Let's say you get to the top. He made the doorway to the palace so low that you had to intentionally bend down and bow down to him. It's just freaking awesome.
I want that. Who did his front yard? Does he have a rack?
No, I love how cheeky that is. He's just like, okay, you may have made it up here, but you still kind of have to bow.
Even if you're here to overthrow me, you still got
to bow.
Customs are customs.
I thought it's like the coolest thing ever. Just such a flex. Okay, so mainly the wives would have to walk up these crazy mountain stairs every day.
Wow, those little legs must have been crazy strong. Yeah,
strong. So the king had many wives, which wasn't uncommon in a lot of royal history. But this one famous king, his name was, again, I'm so accurate with names, Nyat Simba Mutata. Guess how many wives he had? Just fucking guess. You're actually pretty good guessing. So
I'm going to get two guesses. I'm going to put one out there just because I hope it's true.
Okay.
And the other is going to be my actual guess.
What the hell? Okay.
No. Yeah.
My answer?
First guess.
Okay.
69.
What's your real answer?
Like actual wives, not like mistresses and like.
He had wives.
We're just counting wives though.
These are wives.
28.
200. 200 wives.
Wow, that's
and not including the queen, so probably 201. And each of those wives, he had about 10 kids with. Yeah, so the whole town was his fucking children and wives.
Wow.
Yeah, insane. That's like dating your entire graduating class. Imagine your graduating class. So yeah, he had one main wife, the queen, who lived in what's called the Great Enclosure, and it was a huge part of the kingdom. It was
called the Great Enclosure. What is this, an exhibit?
This is where you stay and you don't come out. Right. So she had like her own huge section to herself. It's pretty cool.
Probably pretty nice.
Yeah, and the wall alone took 1 million stone blocks to build.
Sounds oddly specific.
Yeah, it is. But I'm just saying, she's the queen. She gets the Great Enclosure. And then the king lives on top of the mountain where he's very hard to get to. So, but I mean, there's so much more to learn about this amazing place, Great Zimbabwe. I got most of my useful information from this YouTube channel called Travel and Truth, which this guy he mainly just goes around Africa and just talks about African travel and history. And he's so infectious and like just real. I don't know. He's cool. So I'll share his link for this video I got all this information from in the show notes. And he went on a tour with someone from Zimbabwe. So it's good info. But to wrap up this part, Great Zimbabwe is a huge part of that culture. And it's just not very known because when Europeans, quote unquote, discovered it thousands of years later, they refused to believe Africans could have built it. And they associate with the Phoenicians or the Egyptians. But it was really the Shona people, and the Shona people are present day Zimbabweans. Their ancestors built it. But Europeans came, they're like, nah, Egyptians. So
rude.
Yeah. So, I mean, where is a place you really want to go in Africa, you think?
Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
I'll go there. I'll go to Harare.
Yeah. Harare. I want to go to the waterfall, honestly.
Yeah.
I want to go there.
I also want to see a black rhino.
Yeah. So the Shona people I was saying are like the people of Zimbabwe today, and they're very spiritual and superstitious people. Even when it was Great Zimbabwe, when the king died, they burned his house to the ground and built a new one every time for the new king, so the old king spirit doesn't get to him. So, I mean, so when you go there, there's no main castle. It's not like Europe where there's this castle that people have been living there for so long. They kept burning the king's houses down. So that's just a fun fact. But again, ties with our story because of how superstitious people are in Zimbabwe. Again, one word, mermaids.
Wow, we're covering it all today.
We are.
I love it.
Do you believe in mermaids?
Do I believe that they're real?
Yes.
No, but like, do I believe in them? Like, sure.
like believe in them.
Really? I hope they believe in themselves.
But you don't believe they're here. Like they're not real. What do you believe in?
Well, I haven't seen a mermaid. I can only believe what I've seen, right? And I haven't seen a mermaid yet.
You seen an alien?
No, but I have a hard time imagining that in a universe of infinite possibility that
mermaids
we're
would not
the only
exist.
ones. And maybe I'm not saying I'm the source of truth here.
So mermaids are a hard line for you. Maybe I'll prove you wrong in this story because the whole country's in on it.
I can't wait to hear this story.
Okay, so keep that in mind. And you two listeners about what you believe in and why people in Zimbabwe believe in mermaids.
Right.
So let's get into this story. Okay, June 2000.
Oh, wow.
I know.
We got a date.
Villagers in Mondau wake up to horrifying news of 2 men had drowned in their local dam called Mashambanzu. This isn't uncommon for them to have drownings in this river because of crocodiles, but these men were chasing mermaids before they died. In
Not more crocodiles.
They drowned and in Zimbabwe, mermaids are not just folklore. They truly believe they're real and that they can be killers. They are very pale with long black hair with frightening faces, and they can shapeshift.
Oof.
So they're not sexy mermaids, unfortunately.
That's the only kind I hang out with.
No, not this kind.
Yeah.
These are they're pretty fierce. So in that instance, in June 2000, it's just one of many deaths blamed by these mermaids. And in February 2017, at a dam near Gakwe, 2 boys herding cattle thought they saw a mermaid and jumped in to investigate, and they never returned. So people keep looking for them.
Why would they jump in?
Because they think they want to investigate, and then they drown or they get taken. So at the Manyame River, a woman died during her baptism and became possessed and violent. And as everyone was trying to grab her, she jumped into the river and didn't return. So people keep having unfortunate deaths. But it's not crocodiles, because I feel like they know what a crocodile is. And you can see it.
They're pretty big.
Yeah. So these are some of these unfortunate deaths in the river of Zimbabwe, claimed by murderous mermaids. But there is one man who was dragged down with the mermaids and was lived to tell the tale. Yeah. So
quite a tale it was.
Quite a
fishy tale.
Fishy tale.
It was.
Pun point. I'll give you a pun point. Yes. Zimbabwean resident Justice Manyoga did an interview with ABC Australia about his experience, saying, quote, "If one snatches you and doesn't drown you right away, they will offer you a feast of sorghum meal or millet with a side of 2 shimmering fish." Yum. Delicious.
They sound pretty nice to me.
Yeah. If you show no disgust, the mermaid menu may expand with chicken and rice. So they have a full course thing going on in the river.
Wait, so they serve like soggy chicken?
So they give you something gross, I think, at first, like a rotten fish. And then if you're cool with it, then they'll serve you chicken and rice as the second course.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you play along with the creature, this is still the quote, a gracious mermaid may release you horrified but unharmed. First of all, how are they getting this chicken? Because they don't have feet.
Well, how are they getting any of it? Why would they eat rice at the bottom of the lake?
Soggy ass rice.
I mean, I'm sure it's delicious.
Yeah, we don't
all
offend.
you Zimbabwe mermaids that are listening.
Let's not offend.
Next time my friend Marie and I are in Zimbabwe, can you please invite us? And can we start with the chicken and rice? And then maybe for dessert, we'll have the rotten fish.
I didn't agree to any of that, but you can go down there. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't want to doubt, because I've seen ghosts, and like, if I'm telling my ghost story and if someone's making fun of it, it's like, bro, I literally saw it though.
You know, honestly, there was this one point in my life where I was thinking there is no such thing as ghosts.
Yeah.
And then I had a couple encounters, which maybe we'll get into this in another podcast.
Yeah.
But it made me a believer. Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Some people are just like cuckoo, but all these people are seeing these mermaids.
The one interesting thing is, are they in one area of Zimbabwe?
No, this is in all the main rivers. And this happens in South Africa too. This is not just Zimbabwe.
So I wonder if there is something there. I mean, I don't know if it's mermaids, but what if it's just something about that lake just makes some people just run in and just never come back?
Yeah. Also, let's say it's easy to understand if your child dies or if you almost died. It might be better and easier to understand it if you're like, oh, a mermaid got me, or my mermaid took my child, versus like, I almost fucking drowned. I don't know. I wonder if that's like a way to cope, is to believe like it almost makes it a bit more exciting, or I'm not sure.
But why do they all agree to the same?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I get suspicious, is like when things happen all over. So many people are dying from these mermaids. So, I mean, okay, so here's another quote explaining the concept of these mermaids to us. This is a quote from the website VOA Zimbabwe. Mermaids, known as Mondau, that's what they're known as there, are ancestral spirits who have good intentions of healing communities, but they harm when their expectations are not being met. So.
Wow. So how much are they helping the community then?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, what does that mean? What pisses off these mermaids, you know? So what I've noticed, what they have in common with each other, is when I do my research, all this stuff occurs around dams. So people are building dams, like modern technology, in these ancient rivers, you know? And I think it's pissing them off.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Like, don't fuck with my home.
Yeah, it goes even further. In 2012, work being carried out by the Gakwe Dam in Midlands and the Osborne Dam in Manicaland on reservoirs near the towns of Gakwe, Manicaland, and Mutar. Water pumps started to suspiciously break down all at once, and work was suspended because the workers refused to work. They claimed to have been terrorized by the mermaids down there. Things with the project stalled. It got so bad, and it trickled up to the government, and the Zimbabwean water source minister, Sam Sepepe Nkomo, appeared before a parliamentary committee to explain the situation, because the dam's not working is disrupting the water flow among all the communities. So they're having water issues now because the workers refuse to go dive and fix the pumps because they're so scared of the mermaids. Yeah. So they even brought in foreign divers who didn't believe in the myths, and they dove and they saw the mermaids and also refused to come back. Like people who are from a different country who do not care. They just want to make their money. And they also decide not to come back. So now I'm kind of like, damn. Maybe they are real. Like the government's involved.
Way to find out.
The government's involved. People are like, I'd rather not have water than go swim near that dam. People are scared of them. So Nkomo, the water resources minister, isn't having it. And he says, I think what's happening is there must be a sanction under the dam, which creates a hole, and the water will actually be swirling violently. And then if you fall in, you will not come out, even if you have your oxygen mask. So he thinks it's just like a whirlwind of water down there. What's it called? Water tornado.
Well, why doesn't he go find out?
I know, right? Like, why don't you go down there?
You want to make the policy? Why don't you go?
You go down there.
What you preach. You go down there.
But also,
make your dam. Damn it.
Damn it. But also, not all these deaths are that close to the dam. A lot of these deaths are just in a river. The mermaids are just pissed off. And it also doesn't explain the guy who ate the chicken with the mermaids, you know?
Well, but it also doesn't explain the chicken. Honestly, I've never had mermaid cooking, but if I ever did, now that because of this podcast,
cooking,
I'm going to just pretend like it's the greatest shit I ever had.
Yeah, mermaid cuisine is the best.
Might as well be Popeye.
Might as well.
God damn it. This is the best chicken I ever had.
You ever had some mermaid cuisine?
You better act like it.
Yeah,
Goddamn
it's the best
chicken
thing.
you ever had. Or else it's the last goddamn chicken you're going to ever have.
Fucking mermaid cuisine. Oh my God. Okay, so similar claims and deaths regarding the mermaids have also been happening in South Africa. Okay, so I got this from mysteriousuniverse.org.
Oh,
I know.
I want to make that my homepage.
Okay, so it says, quote, one of the weirder accounts of mermaids in South Africa is totally bonkers tale of a mermaid that was supposedly seen flying through the sky.
Through the sky? Was it a sky maid?
In November 2014 in the city of Tshwane. And here is where we're getting some surreal territory. This is the quote still.
Really? Surreal territory, you're saying.
Okay. The mermaid was allegedly sighted flying over the Marula Sun shopping complex parking lot from the direction, and it was seen by several witnesses. The mermaid is said to be a longtime nuisance of the area. She complains about the noise before slinking back off into the water, but this seems to be the first time it was seen to fly. Can you imagine betting money, playing blackjack?
I'm imagining it right
sipping
now.
Coke, and this like slimy
Sipping
mermaid comes up and she's like, guys, keep it down. Keep the noise down, guys. Okay? Like I had to fly from here. I had to fly from the river to tell y'all to keep the noise down. It's too much. I just think that's so funny. There's like a flying Karen mermaid.
God damn.
In South Africa.
Those are the worst.
It's epidemic.
I mean, the ones that walk are worse, but a flying Karen?
I'm so weak.
No one gives a Karen wings.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to feel about this flying mermaid, but the point is the government's involved in this, and the dam strike situation, and they kind of fix it sometimes by sending out local tribesmen to perform rituals to appease the mermaids. But I mean, as for me, I'm pretty superstitious, and when we go to Zimbabwe, I'm not going to go near that river.
I want to go by the river. I want to see it.
You should cook for them.
What if I offer to cook for the mermaids?
Honestly, that's probably why they're pissed off. They keep inviting people. Then the people get annoyed or disgusted with the food they cooked, and they're like, fuck you.
Okay, well, now to play both sides. Now imagine if I dragged you into my house, made you eat some of my rotten food that I've got in my fridge, and then based on your reaction, decided to either cook delicious food for you or kill you. And there's no in between.
I'll take the food.
It's like Jiro dreams of sushi, right? Like he looks at their face intently to know what they want next. So I'm looking at your face intently being like, do you want chicken and rice or do you want death? Because that's a dish best served cold.
Or soggy in this case.
Very, very soggy.
So, I mean, I don't know about the mermaids or not, but if you go to Zimbabwe, you can go to the mermaid restaurant in the rivers and you could possibly die or not. But also you could do something other tourists do, which is go to the Victoria Falls, the Mosi.
After what we just talked about, I don't even, what are we talking about now?
You're like, fuck the waterfalls.
I mean, we're talking about waterfalls? Waterfalls? We were just talking about mermaids. I want to go see that.
Remember, they're not sexy. Remember that.
I think that we've got enough sexy between the both of us to cover for them.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, you can go check out the mermaids. You could go to Victoria Falls or Mosi-oa-Tunya Falls. You could the Devil's Pool and swim. Yeah, it looks really fun. But what's your favorite thing we learned about today with Zimbabwe?
The mermaids.
I mean, 1,000%. But what about the mermaids?
1,000%.
What about the mermaids?
Well, I don't love that they're abducting people and killing them. I do love that they're defending their home. And, I mean, like, look, I don't know if this is real or not, but I also haven't been to the bottom of that river, and I haven't been on those construction sites. So,
exactly.
Part of me, and this isn't to say anything about the people who have lost their lives here, because that's terrible. It's terrible.
I do want to emphasize, like, we're not laughing at these deaths. We're laughing at, like, I'm mainly the flying mermaid on my end. Yeah. That kills me.
Well, part of me wishes that a lot more places in the world had spirits like this.
Yeah.
Because then I feel like we would learn to be building our cities with nature, not against it.
Well, yeah, I think that's like a huge lesson. If anything, the mermaids are saying you're disrupting the flow of the river.
Right.
And you're going against the way of life in this country and in nature. And I think that's such a beautiful lesson. And maybe that's what it means to them, the spirituality of it.
I think so. And I think that river for them is sacred. I don't even know if it's mermaid. I wonder if it's just a river spirit that is protecting the flow of this river because it just is essential to the life of this land. And I just wish that a lot more places had spirits like this.
Yeah.
Because if they did, then maybe we wouldn't just be bulldozing these places over.
Exactly.
And then covering them with cement so they never feel sun, rain ever again. And then we build with the environment.
Yeah.
Like, that to me would be the next level city. You know, it's a city that is built within nature. It incorporates it. It doesn't bulldoze over it. And it's like, look, it's all pavement and buildings and like it's made perfect for people. Like, no. I'd want something that was built with it.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what the mermaids want.
And the Karen mermaid, I think she was really all about like, guys, like the casino's loud, okay? And it's disrupting like the quiet nature. But y'all are gambling. It's really loud. Like, so she had to get out from her house, fly.
I wonder if that took a lot for her. She's like, God, she's like putting on her mermaid coat.
God damn it.
Damn these kids. Playing their
Gotta go
loud
fly
music.
40 miles this way. Tell them to shut up.
I don't even care if they see me. Flies over.
Flies.
Turn it the fuck down. And meanwhile, we're not even there, living in Zimbabwe, being like, are they real? Are they real? Meanwhile, in a casino in Zimbabwe, are mermaids in the middle of the casino saying, shut it down. Shut it the fuck down. In that exact accent. Shut it down. The fuck down. Shut it down.
I'd be like, yes, ma'am.
Y'all too loud.
Y'all too loud. So say like, yes, we're laughing, but this is serious to these people. And it's also like, we don't know your spirit's land. Like, just like I've seen ghosts and like, doubt me or whatever. I know what I saw. You know what you saw. And if someone says they saw a mermaid, I'm not going to doubt you.
I'll trust Anna's eyes over what the government tells me to see.
Yeah. Like,
Personally.
and the fact that the government's involved is kind of crazy. Like, they're like actually having to deal with this.
Well, I mean, what I'm believing is that the people who are building these dams and are diving into these rivers are seeing something, and it's not a whirlpool, and they don't want to fuck with it.
Yeah, the fact that the people they flew out foreigners who didn't care about the mermaids, and they're like, yeah, we're not going to go to work. We're not going to work on that. Like, that's what's crazy. What did they see? You know, and they're aware of crocodiles. They're aware of, I don't know if there's hippos here, but they're aware of all the creatures.
Yeah, no. You know, hippos kill more people than like
mermaids.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know at this point.
The mermaids have killed.
Yeah,
but the hippos, they kill a lot of people.
That's like what's insane. Like hippos are so cute.
Are they?
They are like baby hippos. Oh my god! I can't believe that they're so vicious. Like they're literally the chunkiest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, they got the chonk.
They got the chunk.
They will knock people up. They're super territorial. And it's way more dangerous to run into a hippo than almost anything else in Africa.
That's just wild to me.
Right, because you
That's
don't
so
think
scary.
of them. You think lions and leopards. And there's actually a big 5 of animals that are the most dangerous in Africa. The first one is hippo. And then it's like lion, leopard, elephant, rhino.
But it's like
actually
like
water buffalo is one as well.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting. Those are both.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, hippo is no joke.
But yeah, that was my story today for Zimbabwe. You know, we learned a lot about the history and how neglected Great Zimbabwe is and how it's freaking awesome, like the ruins.
The great city that it once was.
Yeah, bigger than Rome and London at the time. That is crazy.
That's so funny because
So
in the
wild.
history books, you don't hear about that.
No, and that's...
You hear about Rome and you hear about England.
A lot of people went there to get treasure and gold.
What a
Very
city it
big.
must have been. Think about that.
So many wives.
In the ancient world.
Yeah.
This city just rises. Did you know that Harare, the capital of Zimbabwe, it means houses of stone?
Oh, wait. I wonder. That makes sense with Great Zimbabwe. It's all stone. Like that. I'm sure that it has something to do with Great Zimbabwe. 1,000%. Yeah. Great Zimbabwe is amazing. The waterfall is amazing. But before this episode ends, I want to do some business corner. Some exciting news. We have a cult membership. So for $5 a month, you get episodes on Monday.
$5 a month. I gotta
Dude.
jump on this. $5 a month for
$5 a
all
month.
this.
Well, I mean, explain what you get. So you get it on Mondays instead of Wednesdays. You get longer episodes, exclusive episodes, along with secret episodes. So I will send
Secret?
Yeah.
Have I been on a secret
record
episode?
No, but I
Rude.
record certain episodes
Rude.
only for the cult members, and so only y'all will get those, and you get the longer episodes.
Wait. What are those? Tell me more about what I get
It's
with.
a secret.
But I want to be in the cult.
Then join it. I'll send you the link. The link will be in the
I'll
show
make my
notes.
own cult.
They're also going to have extra, like a post episode fun
Ooh.
talk.
Ooh.
Yeah. And if you have business or if you have an art or passion, I will shout you out as like much as I can. It's all about raising each other up. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, I think everyone's really talented. I just want to support y'all and y'all support me. I got you. I want to give out a shout out to one of our new members. His name is Albert Alvarez. And yeah, he is a musician, but he hasn't sent me anything to shout out.
Okay.
So when he does, I will shout him out. So yeah, I just want to say like, thank you guys. If you are a member, it really means a lot. It really helps a lot actually with the content and just paying for everything. So it means everything. So the link to the membership is on the Instagram bio. It's also in the show notes if you want to be a cult member. I'm also designing cult merch, specifically cult merch for members only. So I'll put the link in the bio. Also, I want to say this is a country episode where we dive into a country, but every other episode we have a travel story episode where I and a guest read out your favorite travel stories. And I need y'all's help with more travel stories written in for this season. They can be short, long, just DM them, email them. Yeah. Leave your name and business also for a shout out, or you can be anonymous if it's like one of those stories where you're like, I don't want to say my name. I like
plenty
those
of
stories.
those too.
I like those. Yeah. Boom. Okay. Into business corner. Thank you again, Kyle, for being on today.
You're welcome.
To the Killer Mermaids.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. And for those who are cult members, stick around. Kyle and I are going to drink and read out really cringy questions to each other with Crush and Roulette. And for the rest of y'all, thank y'all for tuning in.
Kyle Cult is what they call me.
Peace out, y'all. Thank y'all. Stick around if you're a cult member.
Which I am now.